All right, as I promised, I am going to show you how to use the flare tool, but in the next exercise, because I just discovered an interesting mistake inside of this graphic that I want to share with you because the solution to that mistake is fairly revealing. And this is the kind of mistake you might run into as you're manipulating whole layers inside of Illustrator. I've gone ahead and saved the most recent version of this artwork as inkonflesh.ai, found inside the O5 Shapes folder. And let's see if you can identify the mistake inside of this graphic. I'm going to go ahead and meatball the drawing layer, and that goes ahead and expands it again. Stop doing that, Illustrator. And then I'm going to shift meatball. Well, there's a mistake, isn't it? That's not tattoo, that's tattoo. Might as well go ahead and fix that mistake as well. So the next time you're thinking, gosh, Deke, you know so much about Illustrator. At least you'll know I don't know how to spell for the first 50 exercises of this chapter. All right, so anyway, I got them both meatballed. Good. And now what I want you to do is watch the central portion of this graphic. I'm going to go up to opacity, and I'm going to restore the blend mode back to normal. And notice now that the shaft of the arrowhead goes behind the bands of the target. So it appears behind here and behind here as well. Whereas as soon as I apply multiply, we see through those bands to that line below. Why, in particular, can we see through red bands, but we can't see through the white chiclets or the white star? What's going on there? Well, remember that we're applying the blend mode to the whole layer. So anything that exists on the same layer will be treated as a group. So in other words, because the white star and the white chiclets exist on the same layer as that red crescent, they work together and multiply together into the background. However, the tattoo and the arrowhead, you can see it right there in that small layers panel preview, are on different layers. So we're multiplying the heart into the arrowhead. So what we need to do is we need to move that arrowhead into the tattoo layer so that this group of objects is all in one layer, and then the other group of objects, which doesn't overlap, is in the other layer. So here's how I'm going to pull that off. I'm going to twirl open drawing, and I'm going to meatball these first three objects. So click on one meatball, shift click on the other two. Those are the arrowhead objects, and I can't see that they're selected, incidentally, because I hid the edges. So I could bring back the edges if I want to by choosing Show Edges or pressing Control-H, Command-H on the Mac. However, once you become sufficiently familiar with seeing selected objects in the Layers panel, you know they're selected. You don't need to see them selected all the time out here in the illustration. So I'm going to press Control-H or Command-H again to hide those edges. Then I'm going to press Control-G or Command-G on the Mac to group this arrowhead. And let's go ahead and call it arrowhead, why don't we? And then click OK. And then I'm going to move this arrowhead group into the tattoo layer. And I can do that by either dragging the group up like so, or because it's selected, I can drag that little blue square from one layer to the other. And notice as soon as I do, nothing happens. That didn't change things one whit. Well, that's probably because I moved the arrowhead to the top of the tattoo layer. And you know what I'm interested to see? I'm going to undo that modification. We could certainly move it down, and that is the problem. But I'm wondering if we invoke the Draw Behind mode, if that's going to take care of our problem automatically for us. So I'll click on Draw Behind, and then I'll move over here to the Layers panel, and I'll drag that little square up to Tattoo, and that did nothing. Excellent. Well, it's a good test. Anyway, I'm going to twirl close drawing. Let's twirl open tattoo. And sure enough, arrowhead is at the top of the stack. All we need to do is move it down to the bottom of the stack like so. And now the arrowhead appears behind the lines just as it ought to. And this is how the tattoo would really print on flesh. In the next exercise, I am going to show you that flare tool. I swear to it.